Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stephen.
Hello.
How you doing today, guys?
No bad, mate, you?
I'm good. Good weekend. Back to work tomorrow though, but can't complain. What about you guys?
How has it been a good weekend?
That's what I'm wondering.
Personally, it's been a good weekend, but I've enjoyed my weekend off. Obviously, the football's been rubbish, but
Went to cinema last night.
Did you? What'd you go see?
Dark Waters. Dark Waters? Aye, Dark Waters.
What's that about?
Mark Ruffalo won. Oh, didn't he ask me? I'm rubbish at describing films and that.
Is it not an energy company or something?
Aye,
that
so
pollutes the water.
Aye, so it's about based on a true story.
Oh, that stuff that happened. With the one of the states in America, a town in America.
Aye, Teflon, but it was worldwide. But it would have been happening. There was a chemical. Anyway, boring. It was a good film though.
Yeah.
It was good.
I thought the stuff with that was quite interesting, but maybe I'm just a sad bastard. So
No,
I
it
should
was
probably
good.
go see the film.
Yeah, I would recommend it, to be fair. It's the makers of Spotlight and Mark Ruffalo's in that as well. So Spotlight's a good film.
What were you, Stephen? What you been up to?
Just had the burns. It's
Aye.
been hectic. Like,
Aye.
absolutely shattered the day.
So answer the question: did you have the Bairns the other night, or did you shit it?
Oh no, I definitely had the burns. I would
100% shot the bed.
I would have been more than happy to come on, like, but I think it would have been a completely different podcast.
I don't think I've ever seen you more than happy. Ever.
Wait.
Apart from when the 3-5-2 happened. I meant happy.
Oh right, aye. Well, positivity lasted long, didn't it? 2 weeks or something.
But yeah, so we're obviously going to chat about the Aberdeen game today, and then we'll get to the St Johnstone game as well. So starting off with the Aberdeen game, I did think about going, but instead I watched it this morning on Hibs TV, which seemed like a great idea beforehand. You know, I thought, well, you know what, I'll put time aside on Sunday morning, I'll get my notepad and kind of take some notes, and I'll watch it Sunday morning rather than go up to Aberdeen. I'm a bit skint now. I'll do that. Because I'm not usually like our long lives on a Sunday. I like to get up a bit earlier. That'll be my Sunday morning. Do you think I could be motivated to load up Hibs TV this morning?
Probably no, mate.
No, really no. It was a bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be when I came up with this idea on Friday. But I did it anyway. So,
to be fair, when your bird likes a long lie, I wouldn't be motivated to get out of bed anyway.
But yeah, so I mean, the first half performance wasn't a Rolls Royce performance, but it was still a good performance in terms of, you know, what you'd expect away to Aberdeen. You know, windy conditions and stuff. So Hibs better team. Aberdeen didn't, especially without Cosgrove, didn't seem to be causing us much trouble. But good to see that we had that good performance in the first half against a team good side like Aberdeen away from home.
Aye, because we were creating chances. So, and then we eventually took one, but it was good. Definitely good to see.
And I mean, he says obviously creating chances. Deutsch had a header early on, pulled off a great save from Lewis. Gullen, you know, could have took his opportunity to start with a good chance as well, and unfortunately didn't take his chance. And then it was a great ball from Boyle to set him up as well. There was a penalty shout as well at both ends, and then, you know, Scott Allen probably a bit quiet yesterday, not the best performance, but even then he can still come up with that bit of magic. Great ball from Dave for the goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a decent ball, and then Deutsch done pretty well, to be fair.
Aye.
Yeah, it's quite a composed finish. So, he done rounding the keeper properly.
Aye.
You should tell Boyle to go back and watch it.
He's probably Stephen. He's probably had nightmares, hasn't he, Deutsch, after his last performance at Pittodrie. So, you know, he's probably relived all those chances in his head again and again.
When you have 6 shots on target in one game and didn't score any of them, it's like a.
So it's good to see him being so calm and collected and getting his 18th goal.
Different player now, though, isn't he?
100%.
Aye. Now Whittaker has been booked in the first half. I'd probably say Whittaker was probably one of our best performers the first half. I thought he had a really good game. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. But I mean, games at Aberdeen, they're always crunching tackles, always, you know, physical games. Whittaker's not got the pace he used to have. When you're in at half time, you've got a player like Whittaker there booked. Should Jack Ross have considered taking him off? I know it sound, you know, great with hindsight, but with those sort of factors considered, was that maybe a warning sign, a player like him in a booking in a game like that?
Yeah, and I think just before half time he'd gave away a foul and he'd already been booked. So normally when that happens, that's like warning signs, and it's like, right, we should probably think about taking him off. And Jack Ross maybe was going to take him off, like, but he obviously didn't. So, but it's Jack Ross's fault. Should have noticed it.
Stephen, would you? I mean, obviously again hindsight, but would you have taken him off?
No, I would have agreed with what Dave just says there. I mean, it is the manager's responsibility to keep an eye on the players, and I think there was a couple of dodgy tackles beforehand. Bear in mind that Aberdeen got 2 men sent off last game as well.
Yeah.
Up there, so
They're always at those kind of games.
yeah.
So I was working so what I was doing to try and keep up with what was actually happening was, obviously I was in our WhatsApp group, and then I was on like matchday threads on like .net and Bounce and that, and I think it was in the Bounce one, they were saying, somebody said Whittaker needs to get subbed before he ends up getting sent off. 5 minutes later he gets sent off. So normal punters can see it. Surely somebody as experienced as Jack Ross can see it. We're winning up at Aberdeen. See if he takes him off and puts on Hallberg or something. It's not as if you're like affecting, like you've got a good 45 out of him, fair play, but you could 100% I think should have been spotted.
And obviously we've got the benefit of seeing the replays and stuff, but was the referee right? Was it that second booking?
I think so.
Bit overstretched.
Yeah.
Doesn't really. I think Ferguson gets touching the ball, and even then he still clatters into him.
At
So
the
yeah.
same time, like Ferguson was looking for it, I think, when he poked it out of the way, but that's what.
It's because he's a
that's what you
Ferguson.
do, exactly.
Aye, he's a Rangers man, isn't he? So what do you expect?
Aye.
No class.
Gullen's opportunity came to an end, but with McNulty out for the next 2 games, he's probably going to get another chance against St Johnstone. A bit unfortunate to be the one sacrificed for Hallberg having to come off after Whittaker's red card.
So it is, isn't it? Somebody's got to go.
Aye.
So
Just obviously it's good he's got that second chance against
St Johnstone.
Aye. So Aberdeen did get back into the game, but it was with a little bit of help from us. Stephen, what was Jackson trying to do?
A little bit of help. You're being extremely generous to Adam Jackson.
I don't know. To be fair, if that was up the other end, it would have been a class goal, but just.
What was he trying to do, Stephen? That's what Gav asked. If you can answer this, then I'd be astounded. So I don't know if MD knows what he was trying to do.
Was he trying to hit it over a rain crossbar? I don't know.
I don't know if he was trying to just put it high or if he was trying to put it out for a corner.
But
if
just
he
he did it.
clear it.
He did it. Just it. Day in and just
He's
let
got
it.
space.
A cushion volley. Why is he trying to
Just move
absolutely
out the way for it. Like,
thunder blast it into Aberdeen fans? Has he spotted an Aberdeen fan he doesn't like? I think that's what it is. I think an Aberdeen fan's making him abuse behind the goals, and he's went, right, you specky wee bastard. Like,
Strong with wearing glasses.
well, baldy. Well,
beardy bastard.
I'm sitting in front of a specky, baldy ginger guy. So what's all 3 of them? Right, you specky, baldy ginger bastard. You're not shouting abuse at me, and he's tried to absolutely blast the ball at this Aberdeen fan. That's what it is. And see if he comes out and went, that's what I've tried to do. Well, let him off. Would you let him off if that was the case?
I would actually. To be fair.
Same. Well done, Adam.
I think I mean, we're going to come back into going down to 10 men a bit more later on, but I feel like watching it back this morning, I think probably helped from, because I knew what to look for it. I think we looked more nervous. We looked a lot less composed once down to 10 men, defence in particular. And I think that was just an example of, there was more other things that happened across the park, but I think that's just one example of where Jackson, like say, would usually probably be composed and just chest it down and clear it, or take his time and get a good clearance on it. But they looked a bit rattled since we went down to 10 men.
Panic button was pressed.
Considine's goal, I did have here, should Rocky have came for it, but I mean, watching it back, you can see he is blocked a bit, but still, should Rocky be forcing his way out for that?
Aye, because 9 times out of 10 you get a foul. So if he just charges his way through and then he gets brought down, foul. But we're soft as shite, and that the ball gets all the way through, and we've got a couple of players that could have just chucked ourselves at it, like done anything, like been a bit braver, but we didn't.
And Stephen, the 2 number 4s were together, Hanlon, Mark and Considine. Considine's the one that
There's only
scores
one
the goal.
winner there, eh?
He got. I mean, you say that, but it wasn't even in the air. It was at the back post. He got away from Hanlon too easy,
No,
didn't he?
if it was on the ground, in the air, if he was fucking 10 yards away from him, Considine probably still would have won the battle. I think, like Dave says, it's our attitude just to going down to 10 men. Like I was saying in the chat yesterday, it's the fact that you look at when Hamilton went 1-0 down against Kilmarnock, went down to 10 men against Kilmarnock, 15 minutes left and they battered them and got a goal out of it. Like, we've just got no bite about us at all. The negative attitude between the whole squad's horrendous, and that's what's got to lose us points. What was it, 28 points we've lost for winning positions this season? 26 points. Disgusting. There's no argument against that. 26 points, 28 points for winning positions.
Let them try argue against it.
So okay, I was going to talk about the 10 men later on, but we might as well do it now. Yes, there's examples of it happening in other points of the season, but are we being a bit harsh on the team considering we're playing away to Aberdeen, who are having a better season than us, are above us in the league, have a bigger wage budget than us, are pretty much a better team, like I said, and windy conditions away at Pittodrie, down to 10 men against a side like that, should we really be that critical of the team?
If it was an isolated incident, no, but we shat it midweek against a team bottom of the league that have no won away in 18 matches. The last time they won was us.
Aberdeen haven't won at Pittodrie in the last 4 games either.
No, 5 games.
5 games.
5 games they went. Ross County beat them last week.
Disgusting.
Up at Pittodrie. You've got teams everywhere gone down to 10 men and still able to win matches. If it was isolated, I'd say you had a point, but
I'm not saying it's my point. I'm just trying to create conversation. That's my job as the host, Dave. I'm not saying it's my opinion.
You certainly do that well, Gav.
So getting back to the game, I guess kind of tying in with the 10 minutes as well. Omiyonga comes on for Allen, I think 69th minute. We're already down 2-1. Is that a change? Allen, we've seen the Diamond and the 3-5-2 get the best out of Allen because he's got that free roll in that number 10. If we're going down to 10 men, is Allen someone that should be sacrificed sooner? And Omiyonga, a bit of bite, a bit of pace, a bit of energy about him.
I think that was the sub that was suggested straight away on our group chat.
Right.
Like, that'll be what happens.
Put Gullen out on the left.
Yeah, I think straight away, I think it was like Allen for Halborg, or that was that type of sub. It certainly wasn't what transpired. So, I would have thought so. Jack Ross had his reasons for doing it though.
What was that?
I don't have a clue.
Alright.
But do you know his reasons?
No, I thought he's maybe heard of it.
Well, he's not just fucking went eeny meeny miny mo to his bench. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I misheard.
Well, he probably freaking has.
I thought you said you'd heard him talk about like post match. I was like, I must have missed this post match interview, but no. Okay, that's fine.
He didn't do one with BBC.
No, he didn't. No.
So I don't know. I've not watched any Hibs TV stuff. I can't be bought with half the shit that comes out of the club now.
And then Louis went off for Horgan. Obviously we're 2-1 down, we're trying to go for it, but does that help Aberdeen with their third goal when you see how it comes about with McGinn out on the right?
Well, Horgan's playing football like he's in a school playground. He's just running after the football, and 2 of them on one man. We back heel completely takes 2 of them at the match, and then all of a sudden you've got the boy driving into the box, and then it's still poor defending in the middle of the box because he a pop, and then it still manages to fall back at his feet, and then Curtis Main snaps at it and scores. So
is that sort of thing though? You kind of like, if you're 2-1 down, you've got 10 men, you've got to go for it. There's no point.
Why did it take to get in 2-1 down though? 5 when we were 1-0 up, were we still not going for it? Why did we just
10 men?
We went defensive and we conceded 2 goals in 5-10 minutes.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think Horgan for Lou was a strange one, but then you're limited when you've got 10 men. So
yeah, you get like at that point when you're down to 2-1 and you're getting beat, you've just got to try whatever. That's probably no the worst thing it could have put off. It's it's Jack Ross's fault that Jackson has a mare. There were no marking at the back post, and then were no able to track men that are running off you.
But then we've been conceding goals from set pieces all season.
Mm-hmm.
We've been I think only Hamilton or no, There's one team, Ross County. I think it's Ross
Yeah.
County are only worse than us for conceding set pieces. Where we've had these individual errors happen again and again and again. Surely, as a coach, he has to come in, look at the first half of the season, see all the videos and stuff, and see that's happening, and as the head coach,
Yeah, that's
put the training in place to fix that.
yeah, but I also think it's down to the recruitment team.
100%.
We should have done something about it.
But I Hanlon, they're getting older and stuff, but Hanlon just doesn't become a bad player.
I think
Jackson
no.
Jackson was linked with Bolton for a reason. They're good players. I think coaching's a big part of it.
Jackson's been playing really well.
Jackson's made Hanlon better.
But
Stevenson coming back into the squad.
I think Hanlon and Stevenson shouldn't be anywhere near us next season. I wouldn't even keep them as squad players anymore. And it's shite to say because they're legends and that, but no sentiment anymore.
But then, I mean, I know he's had injuries and that since then, but like going back to that Stephen, the reason Stephen was shouting for the 3-5-2 was because in that 3-5-2, Hanlon was one of our best players.
Yep, but I don't think,
and he was playing beside Porteous and Effie, who fans regard as the best two centre backs we've had the last few years. So surely you've got to look at who's beside him rather than just blaming him all the time.
But I just said that. I says that Jackson's made Hanlon a better player. I says that Stevenson's been the problem with the 3-5-2. Since Newell went out the last two games.
We can't be so reliant on a player that left wing backs know his natural position, and
we should have more options. We should have better options. This is what we've said for years. Is the
also,
fact
I think
that
we're suffering a wee bit because of the 3-5-2. With as much as I like Boyle driving forward, his best form wasn't it when he was playing right wing back.
Well, there's a couple of games still well, but yeah,
he's done alright. But his best form this season when he was linked to a move to Celtic or not, well, he wasn't playing right wing back. So, and I don't know if Paul McGinn's that good as part of a three either.
I was impressed with him a lot more the first few games when he first came in.
When he was
right
just
back.
right back.
And I mean, while we're talking about Hanlon, then I mean, this is kind of like this discussion about leadership and stuff. People have criticised. I was reading through .net and stuff, and there's a lot, and on some of the Facebook groups and the Highbees Bounce, there's a lot of criticism over Hanlon's leadership from when we went down to 10 men. Is it a case of Hanlon's leadership or Hanlon being the only leader on the pitch?
None of them are leaders.
Do you not think?
No. But tell me who's a leader on that pitch. Name one Hibs player that's a leader.
He got sent off.
I don't think we've got that character on our team.
Do you think we've got it on the bench and in the stands and McGregor and Gray? Because we can say about the major and the performances, there Tim's the leadership skills.
Aye, but it's no use having folk. They're too old, Gav. I know David Gray's not even that old. That's the best bit, but he's just
injuries have kind of
he's just
aged him 10 years. Have Gray standing next to Jack Ross shouting instructions.
You need leaders on the pitch, though.
Yeah, I know, and I agree, but that's what I'm saying. We've not got any. That's the problem, and it's something that needs addressed urgently, along with a lot of other things that needs addressed. A big windy.
And Dave, you mentioned Boyle a moment ago. It seems, from me looking at the team, I think there's been an over-reliance on Boyle and Allen to create things, and we just kind of touched on this last week. It seems like the tactics now are keep Boyle and Allen quiet and you keep Hibs quiet.
Yep.
I know obviously Ross Inverness's tactic was just to kick Boyle, but better teams than Inverness have been a bit more tactical on how to keep Boyle quiet, and it's been effective.
I think we should have changed more getting into the Aberdeen team. I don't think half the players should have been given a chance to play.
But then it was working the first half.
Yeah, and then what happened the second half? You've got to put in a 90 minutes. And we've seen this too much under Jack Ross. You get a good half and you get a bad half. There's no a consistent 90.
We've seen that under Heckingbottom as well, though. So surely there's
so what's the common denominator then?
The team,
the players. So I'm allowed to sit here and say to them that they shouldn't be getting a game. Then you didn't turn up for half your shift. You turn up to your work and do half a shift. What you doing? You're getting into bother, aren't you? Exactly. So I'm not saying sack them. I'm just saying pull them out.
Fair enough. And the final thing from the Aberdeen game was it's been a bad couple of games from Docherty now, and a bad couple of games from Hibs. Do you think that's a coincidence that his dip in form has coincided with Hibs' dip in form?
Yeah, but everyone else running about him's been shite too. So You can't do everyone single-handedly.
Stephen?
I think if you put like Ronaldo or Messi into that Hibs team now, like, it wouldn't make a fucking difference. It wouldn't make a single difference. There's just what's the point in having one good player and 10 bad players?
So I mean, the mood seems to have changed quite a bit from just even like 2 weeks ago. So what's changed?
The performance.
I know, but like, is it really that doom and gloom? Like, we've had a bad couple of games. You know, a draw against Livingston.
No, we've had a bad season. What we had was a good couple of games from February to. So it wasn't even a big run to be yanking about it. But the rest of the season has been that. It's been average to shit. So I don't think it's we've had a bad couple of games. It's no, we had a good couple of games which completely clouded our judgment and papered cracks. That's what I think happened. And I bought into everything for the AGM, and I bought into the players' performances February thingy to get us back into it, and then everything to Jack Ross, and that's done. And fair play, we got to a point where we could have done something after the split, and that if we made top 6, chance for Europe. But a lot of that was down to Aberdeen and Motherwell's dropping points. And obviously we were doing alright, but we've not put a spectacular on together. What are we wanting? We're wanting bang average. Is that what we're wanting? Doesn't it sound like that's what Ron Gordon wants? So why should I want that?
So long-term listeners would have, ages ago heard us talk about being sponsored by FansBet, but long story short, there was no benefit to Hibs fans. That wasn't that great. We didn't want Hibs fans putting money into something we weren't kind of sure whether something was going to come back. So, we're not going to say, go down load this up when it's no good, because then you'll say, those guys are just say anything for money. We're no sluts.
No, it was just false promises. We could tell, we'd get half the money back and that to do something a good cause, and we never seen anything, and nothing happened, and everyone was gone quiet. So chalked, dumped.
So we were chatting about this with a guy we've had a few pints with and stuff, and he was saying, well, I've got a company, and local Leith company, so kind of spoke to him about doing something till the end of the season, and maybe some exciting plans for next season as well, but further down the line. But we'll speak more about that in due time. But so Tempest 4 have kind of said, they'd be happy to be sponsored by us for the rest of the season.
Right, 3 season ticket holders too.
Aye.
And the 4's for Sozzy, is it no? Is that what they said?
So they added in the 4 just as a tribute to Frank, so I love that. It's a nice wee touch.
Yeah, so proper sponsored by a proper heavy company.
Makes
and it's good. We're no we don't need to be like, so go and put on your bets or like nothing like that. It's just this is who we're sponsored by.
It's just it's giving them a bit of a bit of mention that Leith-based company, they do a lot of good work, kind of making sure they hire a lot of folk from Leith and stuff, and and like Dave says, all 3 partners in the company are all season ticket holders at Easter Road, so happy to kind of give them a shout out. So we're gonna you might sort of hear us just sort of say sponsored by Tempest 4 going forward and stuff, and
a joinery and interior company.
Bespoke joinery and interior
beautiful
company.
Word, bespoke.
No, like you says, I mean, the 3 good Hibs boys, so obviously we've had a few drinks with them and been to a couple of games with them and stuff as well. Good lads, so it's nice to be able to go down to the pub.
they've shared disappointment, enjoying the times at the pub, and then the football, it's shit.
Aye,
but as it Rangers and the Hearts games, they'll not be taking any betting tips for us anyway, so that's fine.
And the best thing that's coming out of it is we're getting new seats.
User buzzing about this.
I'm absolutely buzzing. I can pick the splinters at my arse. No.
I brought that I brought in garden chairs for kind of like a temporary measure, because my chairs are at my mate's house, and users actually said they're comfier than.
I take it you didn't like your mates, no? Because they seats that you've took to your mates are fucking firewood. I wouldn't even use it as firewood. I'd be insulted if that turned up to a bonfire. But these sorry Gav, I'm sitting they are shit seats though. But these garden seats are alright, but come on.
So you're looking forward to your new chairs?
We're Dave and Stephen for Hibs Talk. We deserve a bit more than a garden chair, mate.
So as of in a couple of weeks' time, it'll be You might actually hear a happier Stephen.
A couple of weeks. It's next week.
Is it next week?
Next week,
Delivered by Thursday. I'll be sitting on it next Sunday. I'm telling you.
I'm coming up just for a seat, aren't
I'm going to take a day off work on Friday to come up just to try my seat. Bed it in before Dave gets the choice.
So next week we'll be saying you'll be sitting here a lot comfier and a lot happier, and your chair's sponsored by Tempest 4.
Yes.
Do we get sponsored by Tempest 4 on the back of them?
No, it's too far.
Do we get Dave and Steve written on the back of them?
Yes.
Embroidered.
So we're going to finish up the day chatting about St Johnstone and the top 6.
What about the top 6? So we're not talking about Hibs anymore.
So that I mean, coming off the back of that Aberdeen game, in terms of through the league anyway, because we're obviously going to win the Scottish Cup. Through the league, is that Europe gone?
Yeah, Europe's away, I think.
Stephen?
It's alright, all flights are grounded with the coronavirus anyway, so we're not missing much. It's gone.
And as Paul pointed out on Twitter, if not 4th, what's the big deal with the top 6?
That was a good question.
Yeah, so what's the point in the top 6?
There isn't any, but it just...
Secure safety. That's...
Surely no. I mean, surely no, but I think getting top 6 gives you a chance, and you play better teams. Like, it gives you another Old Firm games and that. Like, I don't know what I'll be honest with you, I don't want to play Hearts in the bottom 6, because as shit as this is, they beat us. They'll beat us if we go to Tynecastle. A chance to get them doing in that. We've all seen it happen before. I'm just worried in case they win. I just don't think I would enjoy that at all. I just don't want that scenario. I'd rather everybody else just put them down,
but
and we want there to help.
But I mean, like, I know you say about we could beat, but like, days out of Derby, Derby days at Tynecastle are brilliant. I know, but like
they are.
And so I mean, if you think about it, so you've got.
But I want top 6. I want to finish as high as I possibly can. I'm not going to be like, I'm alright with 7th or 8th for that.
But do you not think we would have... I'd say... sorry, Gavin, I'm jumping in, but one of my Room 1902 suggestions was scrapping the split, and I think that there's more chance of us going higher up the league if there's no split, purely for the fact that we're not having to play Rangers and Celtic again. We're not having to play Aberdeen again. Like, I would rather play Hamilton and St Mirren in the run.
Is there not an argument that
Hamilton and St Mirren take points off us? On you go.
Not recently.
No, what do you mean no recently?
Well, we beat Hamilton and we beat St Mirren the last time we played them.
We drew with Hamilton. No, we drew with St Mirren. They were 2-0 up.
Oh, right, that's right. Sorry, my bad.
But getting back to my point, we it could be an opportunity to experiment and get the likes of Gullen and Murray, etc., more game time. Another game at Tynecastle. I mean, I remember when Williamson finished 7th and said, you know what, fuck it, I'm chucked in Brown, Thompson, Whittaker, and they all joined an established Gary O'Connor, and that was a brilliant 5 games.
Right, so who's our Brown and Thompson? Come on, hit me with it.
Touche. But, like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to say, though, like, surely there's an argument that it could give...
There's absolutely no argument to make me okay with the bottom 6, Gav.
But what's the... other than, you know, get to play the Old Firm, when we get to play them 4 times a year anyway.
5th and 6 is equal as shit, but at least you're in there with the last few games. Just, you're in the top half.
You can what annoys me with the split, though, is the fact that you could finish 7th... Like, if you're in the bottom 6, you're finished as 7th, but you could still be 5th in the league.
The whole point
of it, rubbish teams.
The whole point is, like, see the bottom half of the split. Like, see if you're in no man's land. It's actually an alright thing, the split, in terms of excitement, because it creates like a mini league at the bottom, and they all play each other. Don't have an issue with that. It's their own fault for being in this no man land and being bang average. Like I said, bang average to shit. We've found ourselves with potentially nothing to play for at the end of the season. And that's what we stay up.
So where do you guys see us finishing this season?
If you didn't say last week, I'd be like 5th. If the last couple of games hadn't happened, so We could finish 5th, but we could finish 8th. Do you want an answer?
Would you
7th.
I don't think we'll make top 6
Wow.
because I think the next game against St Johnstone requires bottle.
And that was my question leading into the St Johnstone game. How big is this game for our top 6 chances?
Everything.
So St Johnstone have a game in hand on us, and if they were to win that game in hand, and I mean it's against Rangers who are rubbish now, they would go above us, and this game is massive.
But we've both got Celtic to play, both got Hamilton to play.
Very similar run-ins.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. We've got the exact same run-in. They play us, Celtic and Hamilton, but they've got Rangers at Ibrox as an extra. So I doubt they'll win that extra game at Ibrox. So it probably comes down to how the head-to-head between us and St Johnstone. And if we muck that up and we fail to beat St Johnstone at home for a chance to get top 6, then we get see whatever we get, we deserve.
Fair enough. Stephen, it's a massive game Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to win it. I think we're finishing 7th this week.
St Johnstone themselves were in a relegation fight, and they're now a game in hand on going above us. Just proves, the amount of times we've seen over the years Tommy Wright being written off and prove his critics wrong. He's done it again this season.
They had 0 points after the first 6 games or something, did they not? Like nothing. Oh well, fair play to them.
And they've just got rid of Matty Kennedy as well. And they're on a high fit.
Teamy folk that have got a bit of character and bottle and fight about them.
They've got a manager who's got bottle
and fight.
So who goes into this game with more confidence?
St
Johnstone.
They're playing away from home as well, so there's no that pressure of playing in front of 10,000 home fans.
Mate, we just got beat off our rivals, and then the team that were gone for European places with. But there's not much confidence, is there?
So there's not a lot of evidence to give Hibs fans confidence at the moment.
I wouldn't say so. I think we've been quite poor. Easter Road and that as well. So,
is a win at Easter Road against St Johnstone enough to let Hibs fans breathe and go, right, okay, that's top 6 secured?
When Jack Ross came in, I had to been like, right, a top 6 finish, I would have took it. So I would take I would take a win and then top 6, and then, like I say, I don't want to have the same season as Hearts, because see if we finish 7th or 8th and then Hearts are safe, say they finish 10th, then we've had the same season. We've both been they've struggled for most of the season and had that worry of relegation, but at the end of the day we've both finished in the safe zone of a bottom 6, both got to a semi-final League Cup and got pumped off the Old Firm. So it all comes down to the Scottish Cup for me, the semi-final. Whoever goes that is probably going to have a better season if we land in the bottom 6.
So you're saying if we land in the bottom 6, there's a chance Hearts could have a better season than us?
Well, undoubtedly. If they stay up and we're in bottom 6 and they've stayed up, then and they get to the Scottish Cup final, they've had a better season than us.
Wow.
No, I think.
It's just scary that you kind of like, for a few weeks ago that seemed an impossible thought.
Yeah. But
they're going
I don't mean better, because at the end of the day they've been shit for ages and they're a laughing stock and they've hardly won any games of that. But the outcome at the end of the season, like Paul said, what's the difference between finishing 10th and 8th and 7th and that? At the end of the day, like, there's nothing. So the overall outcome at the end of the season, what you take home, will be nothing.
So if
they would get a cup final if they beat us. If we got to the cup final, then we've had a better season.
So if they finished 10th and got to Scottish Cup final and we finished 6th and got beat off them in the semi-final, if they had a better season than us.
If they finished 10th and got to the Scottish Cup final,
how important is this? This is top 6.
Yeah, but it could be arguable. Aye, it would be a better season, because 6th gets nothing either. But at least finishing top 6, you've secured the top half finish, and then it's daft because it doesn't really get you anything. But at the same time, mentality wise, it's a better thing.
That's the thing though, it doesn't even need to stop at 6th. If you finish 5th and they finished 10th, or even if they finished 11th and got to Scottish Cup final and stayed up through like relegation playoff, they still had a better season.
Anyway, I'm getting bored of this comparing to Hearts.
Yeah, so am I.
Aye. So getting back to Hibs then, I mean, that, we've said how big this game is. Are we expecting 3-5-2 once again? Are we expecting Stephen, you're the 3-5-2 man. Are we expecting the same tactics? Are we expecting, even if we did stick with 3-5-2, try to implement them a bit differently?
It depends what the lineup is. If Stevenson's still in the squad and Newell's not, then I wouldn't want us to play 3-5-2. I think that there's other options out there.
Yeah.
As adamant as I was that 3-5-2 is the answer, it was always based on us having the players to do so, and we've not got that now.
Stevenson can still do a job at left back, but he's not offering enough going forward. No. So
can't do both.
We'd need somebody in front of him. So Dave, how would you set up?
Again, depends on you. So if no, then I would go 4-4-2.
Imagine us 3 months ago saying it all depends on Newell.
No. I would go 4-4-2 or Diamond die. So I would do.
Interesting.
4-5-1. Jamie Collin out left.
We should have enough, and that see when we hear good days, everything seems rosy, and that's what we went through with that wee spell in February, and it was a good spell. Everyone was feeling good in that. See if we just capture that and forget the last week, we've imploded.
The problem is that we've not got the players to pick ourselves back up fit. It was the same with the run-in last season, like when we got the top 6. Never won a game in the top 6.
Yeah, it just seems that too many times this season, when push has come to shove, we fell over. The 26 points, like Stephen mentioned earlier, the 2 Hearts games at Easter Road, big game against Aberdeen there. You go down to 10 men, which show a bit of resilience, and that
make it a battle when you beat Hibs. See if you're on a bad run, and you want to end your bad run, play Hibs. It's sad. It's sad, but it's true.
You look at all the teams that we lost the points against as well: Hamilton, St Mirren, Ross County, St Johnstone. Like, it's not like Rangers and Celtic every single time. Aberdeen,
Livingston last week.
Livingston,
we're 1-0 up.
Exactly. It's just
we're scoring goals fine. It's just
finishing off a game.
Aye, like we scored the most goals outside Old Firm, and then we're still struggling to pick up points. Yep.
Aye. It's just still a bit of work needing done with the squad. So hopefully a good summer, which is just frustrating when you're like 3/4 of the way through the season and you're already looking for ahead to next season. That just feels like I feel like after that Aberdeen game, other than the Scottish Cup, in terms of our league, we've still got the Scottish Cup, but in terms of the league's pretty much done for us. It's no exciting now. Because we can't get Europe, so it's, did we get top 6? Basically, back to what we talked about earlier, who gives a shit? You either get a game at Tynecastle, which is a fun deal, or you can get to play the Old Firm twice. Whoop-de-doo, get to play them all the time anyway. It seems like there's not a lot to be excited for the rest of the season.
I've already got my excitement with Arsenal now, 5 points behind 4th place and
when you look at 9th. When you look at the finances though, like having another Old Firm game and all of that, and like it probably would make a difference when you think about it like that.
Depends if we want to spend money.
Yeah. Well, looks like we did, to be fair. Well, that's what's been said, so.
Yeah, I'm sure he said that as well when he came in, and look at what happened in January. But
why would he throw his money? Well, we've gone over this. Why would he throw his money straight away? We're not going over that. Like, he's put money into the club. He's cleared the debt. We're going to spend money. That's just the case of the. And he's been laid it out. That anyway, but we've done it. Lost in the AGM review if you want us to talk about that. What are you guys up to this week?
Nothing. 5-a-sides. Work. Nothing.
Just looking forward to Saturday.
Thing is, that's the sad thing. See, by the time it gets to Thursday, Friday, you do look forward to it. You forget all the pain. You're getting beat, and that's a Hibs fan, innit?
Aye.
If you couldn't let that pain go, you wouldn't be a Hibs fan.
Aye. I'm on the 12/8 this week, and this is sort of a bit weird. It's a long time since I've done like a stretch of shifts like that. It's like, what do you do with yourself in the morning?
Play with yourself. Not like that, Gavin. I mean, like play the Xbox and that.
I've went back. Do you ever play Grand Theft Auto 3?
Yes.
I went back and I played that. Started that yesterday morning, and absolutely brilliant. It's such a good game. I forgot how good a game it is. So I've been binging about that. So I might do that before work this week.
I've got to check your iPad history before the next pod.
Right, we'll finish up there, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks.
Who's predicting 4-1? Who's predicting 4-1?
Did you do your score predictions?
Well, I was asking you because nobody's done one.
What's your score prediction? Sponsored by Tempest 4.
2-0 to Hibs. Go against everyone. I'm feeling good again. 2-0 Hibs.
2-1 St Johnstone.
Brilliant. We'll be back next week to look back at the St Johnstone game and ahead to the rest of the season. There's me going on a rant about how there's not much to look forward to the rest of the season in terms of league, but listen to our podcast every week.
Aye.
I shot myself in the foot there. Anyway, thanks again, folks. See you next week.